Now we have a lot of other precision cuts to do, and I've started them off, but I need to show you. So paysan is a form of cutting in different shapes depending on the vegetable. So you look at your vegetable. So in your recipe you need to paysan your celery, your turnip and your beans. So I've already done a lot of the celery here, and they're normally 5 by 15 centimetres. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I did that. Now, there are little bits of celery here. It was a big bit, so you have to look at the size of your celery. I'm just going to cut these ends off because they're rubbish. I cut those previously. And I had to look at the size of my celery because it gets very wide down the end, but I want them all the same size. So I have cut 3 times down the bottom end, but as it got narrow, I just cut it in half. So we just cut it in half and cut it across 5 millimetre width and about 1.5 millimetres across. And that's 1.5 centimetres across. That sounds right, doesn't it? Not millimetres. Anyhow, you know what I mean. Okay, I'm going to be putting up for you on Teams some prompt sheets for these, and I'll be doing that during the week for you. So they're that shape. So that's going into my, not scraps, but my trimmings bowl. Now, turnip is one of the vegetables we're using. I've used a sweet turnip. Some turnips are just this colour all over. This one has the purple up the top, and that's the one that I've used. So I just kept this bit to show you. And I have some slices. Turnips are very firm vegetables. You've got to be careful. And you square it off. And I am making some squares. So 5 millimetres as again, and 1.5 centimetres there. So those bits, my trimmings, they get used in things like making stocks and things like that. You can use them for mirepoix. So I've done some more there. You can make diamonds, you can make crescents, circles. If you have a really thin carrot, you can just do circles of carrot, but we're doing carrot differently in this particular one. Beans. Beans are already fairly thin through. So what we do is we cut our beans in the 1.5 length all the way along. And we have done our paysan of beans. And I'm keeping these together because they're going to go in the pot at a different time to the celery. Now with the carrot, we're going to jardinier the carrot. Now here's my jardinier carrot. Jardinier carrot is 20 by 4 by 4.
Sounds French, Mum. Is that
They're
French?
very French.
Yeah.
These are all French terms. So when you're going to jardinier, you have to wash, peel, re-wash your vegetables. Always wash your vegetables. And then I'm squaring off my carrot to make it basically a length like that. Again, they get used, those trimmings get used for other things. And then you're going to cut slices. So you want your slices to be your 4 millimetres.
So it looks like your knife is obviously excellent, very sharp and heavy enough to have a good amount of control. If the students don't have the same quality of knife at home, I guess just being a little more careful with cutting through because it might move a bit more.
That's right. And I have stabilised my board with damp paper towel.
Good idea.
So it doesn't slip on me.
Yeah.
And then so I now cut this into the correct lengths. Okay, a little bit left at the end, so that goes in my trimmings bowl. And there I have some more carrot. And that's as much carrot as I need for this particular recipe. This recipe is supposed to serve one, but I find it tends to serve 2 people.
And we're cutting this up for the minestrone soup.
Yes. Now, the next thing I have to do is I've concasseed my tomato, and I'm going to brunoise my onion. I'm going to do my parsley shortly, but that's going to really mess my board up, so I'm going to do that later. So this is the brunoise of onion here.
What does brunoise mean?
Brunoise means 2 by 2 by 2. That's 2mm by 2mm by 2mm. So with your onion, you cut your onion through the root end.
Yep. Just getting the words on the screen there for anyone who needs to know how to spell it.
Yes.
The brunoise.
So you cut your onion through the root end, and you have half an onion there. And then we're going to cut through here several times without cutting through the end, so it's still attached. And if your knife's starting to get a bit blunt because you're using it a lot, you can just hone it on your steel. And when you've done that, because you're rubbing metal against metal, just rinse your knife off to make sure that it will...
I noticed you didn't wash your knife before you use the steel. You probably would normally wash your knife first.
No, it doesn't have to, but you would wash your steel if you had been doing meat.
Right.
In this case, I didn't have to.
I think I know what I want for my birthday, Mum. That knife is very nice.
It is. And then you cut down this way. This is a second cut. Nice and close, mostly following the lines of the onion. And then you're going to slice across this way, and that gives you your brunoise of onion, your 2 by 2 by 2 dice. And just throw the end bit away. And there we have all our onion done.
Wonderful.
Now our next skill, and in case you're wondering how it's spelt, you've seen the in your recipe skills book that you have at home. All the information's there, and it's on page 36 of your recipe skills book. Okay, and now another thing I'm going to do is chiffonade. So here I have cabbage. This is chiffonade of cabbage. Can you see how fine that is? It's really, really fine.
Chiffonade,
So,
like chiffon.
Yes, like chiffon. Fine, delicate.
Just like me.
And so you have your cabbage there, and you're basically almost shaving the cabbage. Can you see how fine that's cutting? And a knife like this makes it easy. A blunt knife, no, you can't do it. So this is to go in the soup, but also it can be used like this for coleslaw, and there's nothing worse than a chunky coleslaw. A lovely fine coleslaw is really nice, and you can transfer this skill to lettuce, to basil, anything like that. The next skill is the potato. We're going to macedoine the potato, which I've already washed. I'm not going to peel the potato. I'm just going to cut it into cubes. So macedoine 8mm cubes and cut it in half.
And you've left the skin on?
I'm leaving the skin on in this case because the potato you are using is a chat potato.
So not too starchy, it's just adding a bit of flavour.
Okay, and this one, you've got little endy bits, so you can just take them off. Try to keep them in the cubes.
So you could throw them into the soup, but it's more of the look is what...
It's the look. What we're looking at is the look
French
and understanding, yes, understanding what these terms mean and practicing these terms so that you have a good understanding. And so you'll get me talking these terms to you all the time. So the only way you remember is by continually talking. Like if you were learning a language, you'd be wanting to, when you're doing language sessions, always talking the language.
Makes sense.
So that's what we do, we always talk the language. So there we are. So that is the potato, and I need another little container. I'll put it on here for the moment. That's our potato done. So what it is knife skills. It's learning the terminology and learning how to use your knife safely. Remember, always to tuck your fingers under when you're chopping.
I saw you when you were doing the chiffonade, was it?
Yes.
That you were walking your fingers back very gently.
In a claw. So that's my bacon I've chopped up, and that's the ham that I've chopped up, ready to go. We've clarified the butter. I need to prepare a bouquet garni. Now I'm supposed to wrap this in muslin. I didn't have any muslin,